Let's begin. Can you accept where you are right now? We all want to be a better version of ourselves at one point or another, but without accepting of where we are now, it can be a slow and painful process. I was introduced to radical acceptance late in life. Actually, I was introduced to it at a very young age, but I didn't practice it until recently. I'm a natural organizer, planner. Be it a Taurus thing, a balanced solar plexus chakra, or a God's given talent to me, I love a solid plan, as much as a warm blanket on a cold night. Of course, that solid stability that naturally occurs in me turns into chaos and destruction when the slightest thing runs off course. Quickly being the responsible one, I jump in. I take control, stabilize, and balance it like it never even happened. But it does happen, and it happens a lot, like almost every day, sometimes every hour. So much so, when COVID hit, I found myself not having any other choice, like billions of other people, than to accept what was happening. Though the views of the pandemic vary widely, collectively, everyone accepted something was happening. As an empath, this collective acceptance was not something I could easily ignore living my daily life and running a business. Luckily, the amazing people in my life stood together with me and accepted we were going to get through it. As each day progressed, I started paying attention to what I could control and what I could accept, compassionately to nourish my soul. I began to let go. I began to feel free. The Serenity Prayer became my mantra. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. As my acceptance grew and things started to flow more easily, I wondered if there was something more I could do. Then walked in radical acceptance. Defined as accepting reality, is the practice of stopping one's response with impulsive or destructive behaviors when things aren't going the way one wants. That was me, and that made me curious. However, as a metaphysical doctoral student, reality was defined just a little differently. In modern philosophical terminology, metaphysics refers to the studies of what cannot be reached through objective studies of material reality. Basically, reality that is outside the normal human sense perception. So, out of the gate, I already had my first assignment. My first radical acceptance was to accept physical reality. Sounds easy and actually sane, right? But the truth is, it's hard to radically accept reality. I asked you in the beginning if you could accept where you are right now. How did you answer? In the moment, when things are calm, we can usually give a simple yes, I accept things. When things are going really great, we might say, of course, they are awesome. I radically accept my life. But when things happen quickly and knock the wind out of us, the words and actions are not very accepting. But there is hope. Life gives us many chances to radically accept things and show our trust to God. Let's take some examples of how radical acceptance can work throughout one's day. You have recently been let go of your job due to circumstances beyond your control, but you still feel like you could have done something or can change things around and get your job back. In the moment, in the now, you stop and you practice radical acceptance by acknowledging the fact that your position is gone. Things have changed. You focus on your breath in the current moment and settle in with the facts. You leave work calmly and say goodbye. You start driving home and anxiety starts flooding your mind with questions on how you're going to pay your bills, tell your spouse, eat for the next week, or sleep. In the moment, in the now, you stop, pull over, practice radical acceptance by acknowledging that this is only a season. And in each moment that arises, you will show compassion and kindness to yourself and others. Finally, your breathing is calm and you go into your house. Kids, animals, jumping all over the place, waiting for dinner. And your partner comes home emotionally charged and wanting you to do this and that before you can get in a word about your day. In the moment, in the now, you stop and practice radical acceptance by staying in the moment and slowing down. Take one thing at a time. Take one thing to support your family. Do not go beyond that very moment and accept every moment. That moment is precious. Focus on the love, food, and shelter that is right in front of you in the now. That is radically accepting reality. Showing compassion and kindness to yourself and others. It's so easy to worry, multitask, and get ahead of ourselves. But if you wish to practice radical acceptance, take it slow. Be in the now. But what about when reality does not contain love, food, shelter? What if you're alone, hungry, scared, full of anxiety? One psalm that most have at least partially heard of is Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Some read this message as negative. Focus on the walking through the valley of death. But the message is actually, I believe, one of the most radically accepting messages for someone to know and to practice. First, we accept there are hard seasons and valleys, death and daily struggles, even food and shelter are real. Second, we accept that there is evil and it is not to be feared with God. Then we accept that God is there, protecting and comforting us as we are not alone. I challenge you to take time today to radically accept where you are right now Be radically compassionate to yourself and others in your words and in your actions. Tomorrow or the next day, when you must walk in the valley, repeat the serenity mantra and find peace in radically accepting the moment.